What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Celio's Network. Some new cards from the Battle Styles set that's coming out later this month in Japan and in March for North America got revealed just about 30 minutes ago or so. I started seeing them pop up on Beach and Twitter. So we're going to take a look at some of these new cards, Beetle, and a new item called Camping Gear. But there were also some other cards revealed in the past few days, like Cladle, the Colossal. So we'll take a look at those as well. But we're going to first focus on the new Beetle and Camping Gear, which I'm actually pretty happy with. So we'll take a look at these, but first, shout out to PotownStore.com, my lovely sponsor and the best place for you to get PTCGO codes. Be sure to use code Celio for 5% off over there. I do have this window pulled up because the Beach post does not have the picture of Beetle yet, just in case you wanted the picture for reference to see, like, you know, its retreat cost, weakness, resistance, stuff like that. Just some people are visual learners. So I pulled that up, but let's go over here to Beach for the translations. So Camping Gear. It is a really interesting item. Basically, it's search your deck for any card, and then your turn ends. So this is pretty good as an item card if you want to build your deck to play cards that are specifically for turn 1, since you cannot play supporters going first, and you don't have other Pokemon that you want to end your turn with, something like Munchlax that flips a coin to put a card from your discard to the top of your deck, something like Gormandai Snorlax that lets you draw up to 7 and end your turn, or something like Zacian Intrepid Sword. Now, at first glance, I should say, if I had to take a guess, say yes or no, will this card see competitive play? I think the safer guess is no, but I do think it has some sort of potential. And I like the design, and I've been saying this a lot with cards. Like, I'm happy with them using more unique design, and that's just because for so long, about a year and a half now, I've been unhappy with the card design ever since tag team started. And then with VMAXs, the V and VMAXs are just super linear. So whenever we get something that's a little outside the box, it excites me in hopes that they're going to, you know, run with that. So I don't think Camping Gear is instantly tier 1 item card, but I think it's a nice option to have that maybe some decks would want to run a copy of to try to get it turn 1, search your deck for any card, or even if searching your deck for one single card was so important, you might even play 4 of it to try to get it turn 1. The issue, of course, is many decks are playing 4 Marnie, and they could just Marnie the card you just search for out of your hand. So that is the main issue, or one of the main issues I see with this. One being it's mostly a turn 1 card, but it's not limited to playing it on turn 1 like Rotom Bike was. And then the other issue is, of course, Marnie and Reset Stamp. Now, the other card, Beetle, which the picture is right here. We'll actually look at the translation here on Twitter. I never know how to pronounce this person's name, but they always post translations really quickly on Twitter, so go give them a follow if you like seeing Japanese to English translations pretty quickly on Twitter. But this Beetle has 2 attacks, but the first one's all that really matters. Evo Control. For a colorless energy, for each energy attached to this Pokemon, you may search your deck for a Stage 2 Pokemon and put it onto your bench. This is pretty massive. This is similar to the Cradle, which is from, I don't know what set, but it's an expanded Cradle that has seen some play and expanded back last year, 2 years ago at this point, for regional events. That could do the same thing before Grass Energy. Now, what's special about Beetle, at least until rotation presumably happens in August, you could use a triple acceleration energy on this Beetle to search out 3 Pokemon for essentially 1 energy attachment. So if on turn 2 you can get down this Beetle with a rare candy, attach a triple, search out any 3 Stage 2 Pokemon, and slap them to your bench, that doesn't sound very bad at all, actually. The way I see it, this would be some sort of toolbox of Stage 2 Pokemon, and by turn 2, when you slap this down, you'll typically know what your opponent is playing, and you can get out the Pokemon that you need for that deck. Like, if your opponent's playing Eternatus, then maybe you search out a couple of fighting type Pokemon. You can even search out maybe the Colossal from Sun and Moon base that searches out energy, and then maybe the Colossal that's coming out in battle styles that does more damage for every energy attached because they're fighting type and they would counter Eternatus. So you see where I'm going with this. Maybe make a toolbox deck of all stage 2s, which is typically impossible in current day, but because you wouldn't need their basics and their stage 1s, and you don't have to rare candy them down with the help of triple acceleration and or Beetle, maybe you can do that. Even after rotation, you could still use twin energy for a single attachment to get 2 stage 2s down to the board. Even, you know, attach turn 1, then twin energy turn 2, get 3 energy down. So this initially gives me the hope of an archetype like the Meganium stage 2's deck that we saw, gosh, a little over 2 years ago at this point now, I think. I believe it involved Meganium and Greninja GX, and Meganium allows you to play down stage 2 Pokemon basic to stage 2, basically allows you to get a free rare candy with its ability once a turn. So that's what this reminds me of, and I think this has potential. I really sincerely mean it when I say that I think this has potential, because it's a Pokemon you could rare candy down and you get a lot of value, at least for now, with triple excel in the format. But even with twin energy in the format, it's kind of like you sack a card to get to any stage 2s that you want onto the board, and if your opponent happens to gust around this and knock out one of the stage 2s you just set up, you can just use this again and get 2 more stage 2s. So at that point, maybe your opponent takes 2 prizes, but you have 4 stage 2s, 5 stage 2s on the board of your choosing straight out of your deck. And if you're countering them with weakness or with strategy because you're a toolbox deck hypothetically, then that might be worth it, especially in a post-rotation format where ADP is no longer around to take extra prize cards for just knocking out these single prize Pokemon. Or Beetle seems very promising. I like this card a lot. And it both translations I've seen say for each energy, so I do think twin and triple would count as 2 and 3 respectively. So now that we got through Orbeetle and that, let's look at some other ones. This Cladle actually gives me a similar this Cladle actually gives me a similar feel as the Orbeetle does. It, for an energy, attach psychic energy from your discard pile to your Pokemon in any way you like until the total number of energy attached to your Pokemon is the same as the total number of energy attached to your opponent's Pokemon. Now, I'm pretty sure this is absolutely terrible. When I first read it, I thought it was an ability, and I thought, that might be okay. And then I realized it was an attack, and I thought to myself, if I thought that was bad as an ability, this is absolutely terrible as an attack. I think there are better ways to accelerate energy, and I don't think every deck, at least from what I can see from now to the near future, your opponent might have like 2 or 3 energy on the board and be absolutely steamrolling you. It's not like this is mid 2000s where decks would set up 5, 6, 7 energy on the board on multiple different Pokemon because Pokemon were living for multiple turns. You know, this might have been a good card back in that time, but right now where an Eternatus deck can be steamrolling you with 2 energy on 1 Eternatus, this power split ability is not going to do very much as an attack. Even if it was as an ability, as an ability it would be at least considerable, but as an attack it is not going to do the trick. So this Cladle is absolute bulk in my opinion. And then we have Energy Recycler being reprinted. Shuffle 5 basic energy cards from your discard pile into your deck. I'm sure a deck will use that eventually. That's just a nice little item to have back. Salazzle Weepinbell. I've seen people talk about this, saying this will be an amazing combo, or like at least a deck. So Weepinbell, when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may leave your opponent's Pokemon burnt and poisoned. We've seen things like this before. Salazzle, for a twin energy or 2 colorless energy, it does 90 for each special condition affecting your opponent's Pokemon. So if you play down Weeping Bell and you attack with Salazzle, you do 180 damage for a Twin Energy. I could see one of these cards working with another deck at some point, but I don't think these two cards together are going to be an actual archetype, because that means you're playing like 4/4 Salazzle, 4/4 Weeping Bell. You have to have your Bellsprout ready for your Weeping Bell, then you have to have the next Bellsprout ready for the next Weeping Bell next turn if you knock out what was ever active with Salazzle. But Burn and Poison isn't going to be enough to make Taunt and Burn actually one-shot things that are relevant in today's game. So you're going to need other things to inflict like Confused Sleep or Paralysis as well. So if Weeping Bell got you where you needed to go, like if let's say this dealt 270 for just playing down Weeping Bell, I'd say okay, this can compete. Like maybe this could even scare off tag teams and VMAXs. But if it's just gonna do 180 and you have to find a way to inflict that third special condition, this actually won't be a force to be reckoned with, in my opinion. They're cool cards. Maybe one will be used elsewhere and one used another, but I don't think together they will be good enough. I've taken some time to think about it, so as of now I don't think they'll be good enough. The next ones, we got Colossal and Licky Licky. Colossal is basically like the Maractus card that we already have. For each flip a coin for each energy attached and then do damage for each heads, except this is a stage 2 Pokemon and it does 90 for each heads. So while that isn't bad, I don't think you're setting up a stage 2 Pokemon to then flip coins. Like, you don't even get guaranteed damage in. That doesn't seem great to me. Awesome looking card though. Like I don't know. It's not gonna work. I don't think it's gonna happen. Licky Choice, your opponent discards the top 3 cards from their deck, or they discard 3 cards from their hand. For 3 energy, really awesome attack, but for 3 energy, not gonna do it for me. And that's all the cards that have been revealed in the past few days so far. So hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think about the new cards, especially about Camping Gear and Beetle from Battle Styles, which will be coming out in North America in March. Super excited about that. And when it does come out, you'll be able to get codes for Pokemon TCG online over at PotownStore.com. If you're interested in competing in online Pokemon TCG events, check out play.limitlesstcg.com and also check out my recent video about how to enter into the Players Cup 3 and make sure all of your information is correct for that by January 18th. That is the official TPCI Players Cup. You can win a trip to an international championships once that comes back into our lives of real events. So be sure to check all of that out and subscribe to this channel for daily Pokemon TCG content. Leave a like and a comment if you so please to. And thank you for watching. Have a great day. I'll see you next time here on Celio's Network.